don't have any announcements, and don't tell me tell people about coaching. I'm not a coaching client.
Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. Woohoo! So glad you guys could join us here today. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. Next to me, who I have been sworn to say I will not put on camera tonight, is my wife, Jessica Lee. She's running the chat window, although she's on a PC right now, which is deciding to be a little bit challenging, but she should be back on the chat room momentarily. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are, as the title implied, a little bit under the weather here tonight. So we know that plugging into source, universe, the greatness is speaking with you guys. We are going to feel much, much better. But it actually helps us for tonight's topic, which is how to relax and recover from anything. So before we begin, a little bit of housekeeping. What do we have? First off, we are hard at work on our imeditations.com program for you, where we're going to have a monthly subscription service for meditations. You're going to get like 2 or 3 new meditations a week. So if you're a meditation junkie, you are going to love this, from all of our guests, from myself, and I bow down in a sense, from Jessica as well, to me, who has the most soothing voice for meditations. So that's going to be coming up shortly. To find out more, to be one of the first to hear about it, sign up for our newsletter. Go to inspirenationshow.com. Our newsletter kicks butt. I don't know about that, but we share from the heart stories, challenges, what's going on in our lives, what we've learned from it, and what you can learn from it as well. That's simply going over to inspirenationshow.com and signing up for our newsletter. Lastly, on the housekeeping side of things, we have just a few slots left, or spots left, depending on how you want to call it, for coaching this spring. So if you're interested in getting a free one-on-one strategy session with me and see if working with me is the right thing for you, simply come on over to inspirenationshow.com/coaching. Again, that's inspirenationshow.com/coaching.
Can you type that?
Well, okay, Jessica is asking me. So first off, we have inspirenationshow.com for our newsletter and inspirenationshow.com/coaching to sign up for a one-on-one. She is working on getting logged in and is very, very close. So what has happened to us? Why did we go down? When we spoke last Tuesday, and I believe somebody was joking and calling me Michael Napster, and I really like that. I love the idea of getting more naps in. I was in denial, and I always joke, yes, not a river in Egypt. I was in denial that I was coming down with something, because I haven't come down with something in years. But there were warning signs. There was a slight nasal drip, which we associated with some substantial dentist visits, and there was some extreme exhaustion on the Friday before I got, actually 2 Fridays before I got sick, and certainly the Friday before I got sick, before I came down with something, which I wasn't paying close enough attention to. Then after skiing in the real cold last Saturday, I was walloped. And I was kind enough, if Jessica was on the mic, she would agree, I was kind enough to share this gift, because misery loves company. So if I'm going down hard, why not share this with Jessica? I'm so sorry, Pookie. However, we got walloped hard for a reason. We always think that the universe is happening to us. Why did this happen to me, God? I remember, oh my gosh, I didn't think I'd be sharing this right now. Trying to make it to the Tour de France, racing bicycles in Europe, rounding a bend in the mountain town of Hauteville, high altitude town, actually aptly named Hauteville, high village, high town. Huge crowd of fans going, vous allez, vous allez. Ooh. As I rounded the bend, the safety official with his wand is waving me through the turn, right into an elderly woman's full-size Peugeot who had managed to come down an alley and get out on a closed race course, in essence, so she could help deliver me a fatal blow to my professional cycling career and send me on a different path. I remember being in such, I wasn't in any pain until I looked at my leg. Then I was in such incredible pain I wanted to eat the pavement, and I had to stop myself from doing so because I'm sure I would have broken all of my teeth, and instead clawed my fingers into the hot asphalt. In fact, there was black asphalt coming out of my fingernails for weeks. I had clawed so deep. I was in so much pain. And I thought to myself, God is dead. There is no God. How could this have happened to me? I've been working nearly my entire life. I'd been training since I was 12 years old. I trained at the Olympic Training Center. I'd fought my way up the ranks, was still fighting my way up the ranks in Europe. I'd said no to drugs, and I was still in the game. How could this happen to me? But the truth of the matter is the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, is always working for your best behalf and through you for your better behalf rather than to you. It wasn't, God, how could you do this to me? It was a magnificent gift in disguise. It would take me, I don't know, something like 10 or 11 chiropractors, at least the equivalent acupuncturists, who knows how many doctors, and multiple pain centers before I was out of pain 7 or 8 years later. There was a spiritual reason for that, and could realize that as I was rebuilt into a better human being and realize that truly this was a gift, although it left me with such a hole in my heart and such incredible PTSD for many years. Which brings us to us being sick now. I think we both got sick for a reason. Fall, we were incredibly exhausted with pregnancy, number one, and then miscarriage, number one. Then we were briefly not pregnant, trying to get life back into order, and then exhausted again in pregnancy too, and then miscarriage too as well. We were just finishing up, I don't even know if that's the best way to describe it, wrapping up miscarriage number 2 when we both got sick. I truly believe sometimes we have to go down in order to bounce back or come up higher. And I believe that's exactly what took place for us. The trick is, in order to bounce down and come back higher, it's best, you can do it the easy way or the hard way, but it's best never to fight what's going on, but simply to accept what is. Jessica was telling me earlier this afternoon, I don't know if it was napping today or in the last couple of days, I think she, and I am prone to storytelling, so I believe she was curled up, maybe fetal position on the bed, saying, I surrender, as she's going through this process. What a beautiful, beautiful gift. 2 such simple words, I surrender. Wave the white flag. There is so much relief in not trying to drive the ship, even if just for a little bit. Words of wisdom come in. Big picture understanding comes in. Your heart begins to heal. Now, I can say you can test things, and I'm one who likes to do that. For instance, today is the 10th day since I've been sick. I thought I'd be fully better. I didn't quite feel it, but I said, why don't I go out for a wog? A wog is our definition of something between a walk and a jog. And I've just hired a new running coach. So excited about it. I can't recommend enough. Everyone should have a coach so that we can get out of our own box. We can get out of our own paradigms. And on the training schedule today was to go for a 2-hour run. So even though I wasn't feeling that hot, I drove myself down to the trails. I said, let's feel things out. Put on a brand new pair of Luna sandals, kind of a minimalist sandal for running. Went out, wasn't feeling so hot, said, let's go slow. 9 minutes in, actually, I think it was like 9 minutes and 32 seconds. I looked at my watch and I said, I feel like turning around. Now, based on my running coaching, I have what I call the 2-question rule, which means the first time I say I feel like turning around, I may let myself continue and see if I start to feel better. So I did that. I went 9:32. I said, maybe I should turn around. 11:23, I remember looking at the watch and turning. Not even asking the question, should I turn around? I just turned and said, let's get back to the car as kind, gentle, easy, good as we possibly can. And let's get home, get some warm food on us. Thank God for Jessica soup. And rest and relax under the covers, aka Michael Napster. And I was so happy that Jessica came and joined me halfway through after there'd been some critters on the roof doing who knows what up there. Be with the experience. I know it's hard. Honestly, I can't imagine how challenging it is for you. I can't imagine how hard it is. These experiences suck, and some of them suck really, really, really badly. But be with the experience as best as you can and love yourself up. Nurture your soul like there's no tomorrow. So for ourselves, we went out on Sunday, our first trip out of the Roaring Forks Valley, other than a couple business-related trips. Not business-related. One was to pick up our car, Tessie in Denver. The other one was to visit her family in Vail. Other than that, we haven't left the valley. And so we got up, supposed to be early, wasn't. We got up on Sunday morning and we drove ourselves 220, 200, no, I guess to the trailhead, 250 miles to Moab, Utah, where we did this very slow. This was me. Jessica was faster than me. I'm kind of like, going along on the trails, a little bit like a walking zombie, but out in nature, experience the incredible beauty of Arches National Park. We went out on this amazing trail called Jeep Trail, so quiet. And we just allowed ourselves to be with the experience, be with the runny nose, be with the sore throat, be with the hacking up cough, but just allow ourselves to be with it. And to me, actually, the most special part of the experience was I felt okay to drive. And fortunately, I have a car with autopilot. Oh, I'm loving the continuously upgrading autopilot. And I could actually relax into the drive. And that was actually my favorite part of the whole experience, was just sitting there. No place to go, hands on the wheel, but relatively nothing to do, and got to just melt into the experience of it all. With that said, realize, and this is so important, there is a spiritual significance for everything. It's something Louise Hay talked about in her early books, which is that there is a spiritual significance to every healing crisis that, I'll put that in quotes, healing crisis that we go through. For ourselves, we're calling this experience we're going through right now, this 10-day period, our spiritual detox. Now, if you look up online, if you're not feeling well, you can look up online and find the spiritual significance to what's going on in your body. So for myself, if I was to take a deep breath, and I'm not trying to ham things up, so I'm going to resist doing that, even though my lungs are like, ooh, let's take a breath now. Let's show everybody. If you look up lungs, it says, feeling not worthy. Feeling not worthy. That's my nemesis this lifetime, is that I can't be enough, do enough, or there's nothing that I can do that makes myself feel worthy enough. In fact, I've had dreams about it this week, about screwing things up, about ruining things. Last night, I couldn't get a deep night's sleep because every time I went deep, I would start to moan, whimper, or scream. What does that mean? I have some significant clearing work ahead beginning, no, not tonight. I got to get some rest first. Probably beginning tomorrow to get at more of the root cause. It's my life thing. We all have life challenges. Now, it's a limiting belief to say it's my life thing. Maybe I can clear it tomorrow. But it's one of the, quote, gifts or drivers or steering mechanisms that's actually beautiful for me if I can let go of the attachment of needing to let go of it. It's one of the beautiful steering mechanisms in my life. And so my lungs hurting, Jessica's going, it's always your lungs, Michael, is telling me that I get to do more work on this. And I think that's pretty cool for the body to tell me that. For Jessica, it's her throat. Looking up for Louise Hay, what does a sore throat mean? It means holding on to angry words, which makes sense right now. It also means being unable to express herself or express oneself. And I talked about last week how when we were skiing uphill in Vale, I've never heard such an innocent Mother Mary of a woman swearing like a sailor before. She's needing to get out these angry words, and her throat will begin to heal. And we have done a lot of clearing work on that this week. We'll continue to do more. In fact, I was driving down the road in the car, and I could still do this while driving. I was doing emotion code work on Jessica while heading down the road. So you want to always look for the spiritual significance of things. My dad, he's had a sore back right now. To me, a sore back means feeling a lack of support, unsupported, in a sense, a little bit unloved, certainly not going exactly where you'd like to go. Looking it up from Louise Hay, it also means financial worries or woes as well. I'm not sure what his financial condition or situation is. I do know that they want to sell my childhood, sell the home that I grew up in. My guess is in part to make them more comfortable. I know that's not the main reason. The main reason is a little bit of downsizing and making things easier. But my guess is that is a burden on my dad's back. So look into what the spiritual significance of things is. Also, when things are blowing apart, also means look for the why behind things blowing apart, imploding, or making you stop in your tracks. So if we go beyond health conditions, why did my job blow up? Why did this contract blow up? Why is this going so, quote, badly right now? Everything should be going good for me. There's a beautiful reason for us. Now, we had, I believe I mentioned it last week, we had on an amazing medium on the show a couple weeks ago, Lee Harris. And thank you, Lee. Lee did a reading for us on our baby Hannah and whether she was still coming after 2 miscarriages. Positive note, she's still coming. She's only 10 feet away from us. Woohoo! But we first have to get our, quote, house in order, which is so true. Now, whether that's our literal house and having our permanent home here in the Roaring Forks Valley, or whether that is our business where we're working to put pieces in place so that we don't need to continue trading dollars for hours for dollars, so that we can be more present with the pregnancy, with each other, with our health, and with baby to come. I think it all goes in the stew. It all goes in the soup that we get to get our house in order. You may get to get your house in order too. These things always happen for a reason. So when things begin to go, quote, wrong, I'll put that in quotes because there is no wrong. There's no bad information. There's no good information. It's just information. When things are blowing up, it's telling you something. But when things go, quote, wrong, it's time to crank your awareness up to the max. Ask, why is this happening? Why is this taking place? Go for long walks, or like ourselves, long, very slow walks, or very slow drives. Dive into the whys. Learn about yourself. Learn about this beautiful being that you came here to be this lifetime, and learn about your journey. And then crank the self-love up to the max. So, why? Because when things are going, quote, wrong or not right, it may be the greatest gift in the world. The better you can treat yourself, the more you're going to come out of this on fire. Now, to be truthful, when stuff is going down, and that's a politically polite way to put it, when stuff is going down, your ego is not going to agree with you. It is not going to tell you, everything's cool, everything's great, let's sing kumbaya, let's dance around. No, your ego is going to be telling you, duck and cover, crap is going down. It's going to be telling you what you need to get done, have to get done, or should have gotten done. In other words, your ego is going to be shoulding all over you. Last week is a perfect opportunity or perfect example. A couple really good ones. Last week, I was feeling really sick. I had this huge list of to-dos. Probably got to be resting, but a huge list of to-dos. I got to do this, got to do that, got to do that, the other thing. And Jessica brought me over our taxes and said, well, since you're here right now, would you mind reviewing our taxes? I took extra time because I had gone down. Notice that. I took extra time because things weren't going, quote, right. Took extra time with the taxes and noticed we were overpaying several ways, several $1,000s. We literally saved several $1,000s because we went down. But you know what? My ego wasn't happy with me. It wasn't happy I'd spent this extra time reviewing taxes. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing the other thing. What have you done for me today, sucker? It was saying that what I was doing was completely off track, even though I just saved thousands of dollars. I want you to know you can never. I love my ego. I love him so much. He's steering, he's guidance, he's awesome, he's a best friend. But you can never, ever, ever, ever please your ego. My ego's beating on me for taking the extra time on the taxes, even though I saved thousands of dollars. Do you know what my ego would have done if I found out after the fact that I had just, quote, wasted or, quote, screwed up and spent an extra several $1,000s because I hadn't taken the time and caught these things on our taxes? You can never please the ego. Today is another perfect example. We had a guest cancel. It was the perfect opportunity. I only have a handful of days left to get Tessie registered. Wow, there's a gap in the schedule. I can get to our local DMV. I can wait in line. I can take the time. I can get this done. In fact, I go into the DMV, the local county's office, and they said the Teslas in the area, on average, have had such significant paperwork challenges for some reason that they take an extra 4 to 6 months to get registered, during which time people haven't been able to drive their cars. And said I was only the second one, miracle of God, that the paperwork was perfectly correct. Yeah, and it took her an hour to go through. If I hadn't taken the time this morning, I wouldn't be able to drive my beautiful car next week, and who knows for how long. But I get back, and my ego's saying, what have you done for me today? You've been wasting my time. Can you believe that? So we get to step back beyond the small egoic mind, beyond the fears, worries, anxieties, and concerns. Wave that white flag and say, I surrender to whatever is. You cannot please the ego, and it's at your own risk, and quite the substantial risk to try. Instead, write about it. Step back from it. Ask, how am I feeling? Where am I feeling this in the body? Or where's the anxiety, fear, or sadness residing in the body? And then breathe slowly. Breathe deeply and lean into things. In fact, I got 4 big lessons for you. This is number 1 for the day. Breathe deeply into things. Even on the trail today, as I'm going, should I be out here or not? Let's find that out. I kept my mouth closed and just focused on nice, steady, deep breaths. Do that for a minute. Just breathe in nice and deep through your nose. Deep breathing reoxygenates the body, keeps you thinking more clearly, boosts the immune system, and it truly reinvigorates the soul. So when stuff goes down, first and foremost, go to your breath. After all, you can't control perhaps anything in the moment except for your breath. One more time. In fact, if we have time at the end, I'm going to do a short breathing meditation with you. The next lesson is to step back, way back. So I talk about leaning in. It's interesting because I don't exist. None of us exist in this 3D world. Nothing is lean in, lean back. It's always about going on the inside. But I want you to step way back and look at everything going on at your life. Go big picture. At that moment, the natural instinct is to go micro thinking, micromanaging. Let me look at the tip of a needle and see what I can do about this exact problem and try to control and hold on to everything. When really what we want to do is step the aperture back and back and back, further and further still, so we can really get out of our paradigms and look big picture at exactly what's going on. That has been a huge, immense gift for us over the last 10 days. The amount of big picture planning we've gotten done over the last week, even firing at half capacity or less, has been huge. It has truly been phenomenal. We didn't focus on what can I do about X, Y, or Z, but let's step back. In fact, I've encouraged Jessica, and she has really encouraged me when we have a, quote, meeting. And she goes, no, don't try to fix that one small item right now. You said you wanted to go big picture. Let's look at the whole, the totality of what's going on in our lives. I encourage you to do the same as well. If stuff's going down, step back from everything. Thirdly, let go of expectations. This has to do with surrendering. Let go particularly of the expectation of perfection during this time. For example, I had a beautiful interview last week with Brad and Steve. It was a phenomenal interview, and I found out at the end of it, I'd been feeling so poorly before the interview, my mic wasn't properly plugged in. All the levels looked like they were right, but mine wasn't. It all worked out, but I could have gone, oh, poor me, woe is me, or more particular, go to that place of, you're not worthy, you're a screw up. How could you do this? Why weren't you more of a professional, Michael? Instead, I took it as an opportunity, wave that flag, I surrender, to let go and love myself up even more. All of these experiences are opportunities on your path to take better care of yourself, to let go of the outcome, to let go of your perfectionist tendencies. We all have these. And simply go, it's okay. It's perfect just as it is. And then lastly, to love yourself up like there's no tomorrow. Love yourself up like you're holding a newborn. Except that cute and cuddly, do we say cuddly about babies? That cute and gurgly baby is you. Love her up. Love him up. Love up the little one in your arms like there's absolutely no tomorrow. Love him up more than you ever thought you could love up anyone or anything in your life. Even if he or she is pooing in your arms, you'd never look at a baby and go, oh, you need a diaper change. I love you any less. So why would we do the same for ourselves? And I can hear people going, because I shouldn't need a diaper change as an adult. This is your first time. Well, might not be your first time in the rodeo, but this is your first time exactly here and where you are right now. So how could you be perfect at it? How could any of us be perfect at anything in life that's coming our way to teach us lessons? And one of those lessons, the most valuable lesson perhaps, love yourself up. Realize this too shall pass. That no matter how extreme the circumstance, I've been through a lot. I can't say I've been through all. I haven't been through even nearly as much as you've probably gone through. But things are always darkest before the dawn. We always think they're at their worst, and then things begin to pop for the better. Of course, when I was in Europe the day before I got hit by the car, my cousin had told me, don't worry, what's the worst that can happen? Ha ha. I wouldn't taunt the universe necessarily like that, but things will always, always, always get better. You will come out shining, feeling better, squeaky clean, and chances are better than you ever were before. I know we will. I know we'll be running stronger, feeling better. We'll have imeditations.com up and running for you guys. We'll be happier and healthier than ever before. I believe perfect for a summer ahead, or as Jessica called it, I want to run again. So for a running summer ahead. And we'll be doing so much better than when it's time, we'll be able to call in baby, kind, gentle, easy, good for our highest good and for the highest good of all, one more time. We know she's waiting. We just have to use this opportunity to get our house in order, which may be exactly what you get to do as well. So with that said, going to dive into some questions here. Let's see if there's time for about a 5-minute meditation at the end. Very shortly, we're going to have a lot of free meditations on our website as well. In fact, you can come on over, sign up for that newsletter, and sign up to get a bunch of free meditations coming up shortly. And that is inspirenationshow.com. And we have a very few slots left for coaching. You can come on over to inspirenationshow.com/coaching. And most importantly for today, we are 100% supported by you, our audience. So if you like the show, if you love what we're doing, if this live is changing your life, please come on over and support us so we can continue helping you. That's visiting patreon.com/InspireNation. Again, patreon.com/InspireNation. Become a Backstage Pass member. Become a member of the Inspire Nation family, and you're helping to support the show. So with that said, I usually make the giant faux pas here of asking Jessica if there's anything she wants to add. I'm not going to do that. I am simply going to turn to her and ask, is there a question for me to answer next? Now, if the question is from her, she can let me know, but I am not going to put the Pookie on the spot this evening. I am learning. All right. Do we have any questions, thoughts, concerns, musings?
First of all,
Yes.
I'd like to say that the reason why I'm off camera tonight and why I've been off camera for several weeks, mostly off camera, is because I tend to be introverted.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I am introverted or I'm going to be introverted for the rest of my life.
You're not labeling yourself.
But for this phase of my life, which has been 38 years long.
That's classic.
Actually, I don't know that it's been 38 years.
I think so.
I think it started when I was around 7. So for this 31-year phase, I've been more introverted than not. And so for me to be on camera and to be vulnerable and sharing is exhausting, which normally I can handle when I'm full of energy. Mm-hmm. But the last few months have been physically exhausting with the miscarriages and now this marathon cold that won't go away. So that's why I'm.
From a natural world point of view, when an animal doesn't feel on top of her or his game, they typically, unlike me, hide until they feel better to stay safe.
I think it depends on the personality, though. Some people get energized by feeding off of other people's energy.
That's true. So, or like myself, throwing myself out into nature. So, I would agree. And so I am learning. I think my mantra right now is do not push the Pookie. I am learning, and there is nothing better than that. So I see some kitty action, distraction, passion going on here. Is there a cat showing up in the? Oh yeah, there we go. We've got Kitty in the background. In fact, you're getting all these great ideas. I'm not sure that you want to share with them, but you had all these ideas for kitties on the trails.
It. Yeah. I'm going to be recording Meowser's very powerful healing purr.
Awesome.
And including them in a meditation series.
I can't wait for this. And that came out. I know you've talked about this and thought about this a long time, but I believe this came out of this healing journey. You were out on the trails in Moab and you're going and coming up with all these different meditations.
Yep. So I'm really excited about that. That'll be a lot of fun. Secondly, I did want to mention that Romy made a $2 donation.
Thank you, Romy.
From our Facebook Lives back in North Carolina. We haven't seen her in a while.
Wow.
Because we haven't been on Facebook.
That's true.
So thank you so much, Romy. And a couple people in the chat mentioned they've been experiencing a lot of anxiety lately.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice?
There's a lot of anxiety going around. In fact, this could be also called the anxiety flu. And I think if you turn on the news, heck, if you just turn on the weather channel, there's all this stuff that we're being told to be anxious about right now. And so I think a good thing that we can do is start to lean into where is this anxiety coming from? What is this energy I'm experiencing? Is it truly fear? Is it me getting to step forward? Where is it in my body and what is it here to tell me? I think that's the single most important thing that you can do. It's really about cranking up the awareness and learning from it. Now, with that said, there's a time to circle the wagons, to say, I'm not going to dive into any more of the negative propaganda that's being thrown at me left and right, and instead work to build my environment. What's my environment? My home, my room, the walls of my house, the people around me, the food that I'm eating, the way I'm organizing my time, the way I'm organizing my thoughts, to bring in as much positivity as I can, to raise that vibration up to the max. But then last, and I will probably come back with more and more reasons, I would always, when there's fear and anxiety, write it out and try to feel out what's going on. And you can write it out and you can tear it up and be done with it. But oftentimes we go, oh, I'm supposed to, what I think about is what I bring about. Can't think anxious thoughts, can't think anxious thoughts. It's not a matter of stuffing your thoughts down. That's never going to make you feel better. But writing them out, getting them out there on paper so you don't become a seething volcano, shredding them and being done with them. But when you have them on paper before you, use this as the most amazing opportunity to ask, where are these darn things coming from? And what do they mean for me? There are always, always positive messages. Whoa, we're not going to do that, Meowsers. There are always positive messages hiding just underneath the surface. So I will challenge you to step back and say, how is this here to serve me? So beautiful, beautiful question. Do we have another question? As I can't say my fear and anxiety is going up, but we do have a Sir Meowsers on the counter right here who is wondering if he's going to step on laptop A or laptop B right now. And it looks like my anxiety levels have just gone down a little bit as he is considering your laptop instead of mine. I still have some significant scratches on me from his festivities of, I guess, my laptop blocking. An example of letting go, of not having expectations, of not trying to drive the ship. Oh, yeah, there goes.
He just wants to be near the action. I mean, sometimes I think.
We have got to get you some T-shirts, Meowsers. And I saw a beautiful Asian cap a few days ago as well. Do you think he'd look good in a little rice cap?
Rice cap?
I don't know. It looked like it was from Thailand. You don't think he'd look good? Well, he came from Hawaii.
Oh, you mean the triangular
Yeah.
ones?
Yeah. I think he could look really cool with a hat on. So much wisdom in these eyes. So much wisdom. So while I am doing a kitty cameo, he's looking very introspective at the moment. Are there any questions that we have?
Well, I just want to.
Or feel free, go for it. You can move the mic a little closer.
Meowsers typed something in the keyboard, so I'm just going to pass it through. Maybe somebody can translate.
8 times 9 times 9, that's 72. I don't know.
Divided many times by 9.
Actually, it'd be, I guess, 8, which is, anyway. Thank you, Meowser.
Yes, there was a question from Anime, who writes, how do you get over 72 rejections from a crush, or should you just give up?
Oh, heck, I'd give up. How's the song go? Really, the bus, Gus. Don't need to discuss much. Da, 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 da. Just set yourself free. So, you only want somebody who really, 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 really wants you more than anything else in the world. You want somebody who will not so much treat you like a god, but dote on you like you're the best thing in the world, because you are. Anything less is not acceptable. You don't have to say, well, someday they'll come around, or someday this, or someday that. No, your someday is today. I would run, I would not walk away from this rejection, and take it as the most incredible, beautiful gift that it is. So love yourself up like there's no tomorrow by demanding somebody incredible. Well, they are incredible. They may be incredible, but they're not incredible for you if they've rejected you 72 times. If you've even had the wherewithal to count the 72 times, then chances are there are more than 72 times. So I would drop that hot potato and run the other direction. And my opinion, having had several, I love you, Meowser, several really, really challenging relationships, including a fiance that left me 2 weeks after my NDE, a whole story for another day, is dive in on the inner work. More of this show, more books, not going overkill, but working on maybe one exercise a week, putting one piece in place of your life, and looking at how can I make myself 1% better today or this week, by first loving yourself up. So brilliant, brilliant question.
The song is a Paul Simon song.
Yes.
It's 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
I love it. I would read that, play that song, Mary, over and over again. And then I would go to the, is it the Diana Ross song? It Will Come to Me. Da 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 da. All my love to live.
All right.
Give strong.
Anyway,
I know I will survive. There we go.
Diana C wants to know, Michael, how much social media would you recommend a day?
Oh my gosh, Diana, that is a brilliant, brilliant question. Less is more. And that's actually my biggest challenge with growing our social media page, is in small doses. It can be a very positive experience if you cherry pick, if you know what you're looking for, if you go for some specific information or specific informational quotes. But all of the studies are showing that social media is making us feel worse and making us feel more depressed. I'll give you the perfect example of that. I have the most amazing, in love with gift of a woohoo 8 of a car in the world, my little yellow, bright yellow Tesla. I am over the top in love with this. But if I was to go on forums, I'd find out why I didn't get this option or that option or these wheels, or why I didn't get the performance edition. And I am, you ready to go down there, Meowsers? Thank you. I am less than, because in comparison to others, I don't have, and therefore I am not enough. I call it death by comparison or poison by comparison. And when you stay on social media, you are drinking of this poison. You're gradually, oh gosh, I'm thinking of, is it Socrates, is Aristotle, Plato, drinking of the poison that he passed away from. You're drinking a little bit more and a little bit more, taking a little more arsenic and a little more arsenic, because you look at that picture and you go, oh wow, that's great. John and Kathy and their kids, they're on this vacation. I'm so happy for them. But I'm not on that vacation. And Sue and Mary are traveling to China. That's so awesome for them. But I'm not traveling to China. And such and such and such and such. But I'm not. Our minds are continuously comparing themselves. I see Jessica smirking. I'm not sure if she's got something to add. We are continuously comparing ourselves. I would like a social media that is more honest, that shares more. We've shared a bit of our journey, and it's interesting because at those moments, people come out to support and love us, which we love, but then you actually feel guilty, like, well, I'm not just trying to milk people of their love and support. I don't know where that true balance point is. But overall, I just believe less is more. Put things up. Share your life. Share your adventures. Share your hard times too. But get on, get in, do what you need to do, and get out. Because the ego is going to say, yeah, but how many likes did you get? And how many comments did you get today? And well, your thing isn't getting as many comments and responses as, oh my gosh. The more you can step back from that, the better. Brilliant question.
A couple of things. There are a couple questions, but first I wanted to mention we received another donation from Soulmate Meditations and Healing.
Thank you, Soulmate Meditations and Healing. We send all our love your way. Thank you, light worker.
I love that name, Soulmate Meditations, too.
I like that. And I like the play on words, particularly as we're talking about 72 ways to lose your lover. And we got soulmate and soulmate. Okay. I love it.
Our next question is from Romy,
yes,
who writes, how can I get better in my intuitions?
Quiet. The single best thing that you can do, Romy, is go into the silence. More time meditating, more time doing automatic writing, more time to just be. The voices or voice of intuition will start to get louder and louder as all of the background noise starts to settle down. So the single biggest thing that you can do to crank up the intuition, which is always there. Believe me, my intuition was saying, you don't need to go on this hike today. It's not going to go well for you. I heard it, but I said, I want to give it one simple little go anyway. I try to avoid the word try, because there is no try. There's do or not do. So I said, let's do this thing. And I can always turn back right away. But my voice was there loud and clear. The more that you quiet the chatter up here, the more easy it is to hear it. And then last question, and then we'll dive into a really, really brief meditation, I believe.
Okay. There's not really a question posed, but I think you can comment on it.
Okay.
Upcycled One writes, yes. I can't seem to move past all the losses I've experienced in the last 24 years. There have been many, and I've had to handle them alone. I'm now 60 years old and look back on my life. Hard stuff.
So Upcycled One, I don't pretend to know all of the losses that you've gone through. I have worked with some people who've gone through stuff that I'm going, oh my God. Just one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. The biggest thing, Upcycled One, is to shift your awareness of what's taken place. That doesn't mean tragedy isn't tragedy. I don't ever want to say, oh, you lost someone. That's great. Everything happens for a reason. Oh my God, I would, excuse me, never, ever, ever want to say that. But I do believe that we are divine, infinite beings having a physical existence. We're spiritual beings having a physical existence, which means that we signed up on the other side for some pretty substantial poo-poo. And I believe the more advanced, I'll put that in quotes, there is no ahead or behind, but the more advanced souls among us get hit with the most crap for our evolution, for our growth, for our heart expansion. So your challenge is not to dwell on everything that took place. You can write about it. You can learn about it. You can certainly work to heal it. I would never say tamp it down or stuff it in. But then to use each of those experiences as the most positive fuel to help you become. So you're 60 years old. You've got another 20, 30, 40, who knows, maybe 50 plus years on the planet. How much can we expand your heart during this time? How much can we use all of those, quote, negative experiences as bricks that we put in the stove of the locomotive to help us burst forward or to help that rocket ship gain altitude? Each one is here to serve you in your divinity as a spiritual being having a human existence. So we can go, oh no, poor me, woe is me. And I'm not picking on you at all. That's human nature. Oh me, poor me, woe is me. And that doesn't mean that crap hasn't gotten down. That's not terrible. I can't even imagine. But to say, all right, it's all gone down. Now, in this moment, I am going to choose to heal, choose to find a way to feel better. I'm going to fight this with every positive thing that I've got. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. And I am going to find a way to shine bright because of it. Yes, we are talking at the end of the day, Upcycled One, about finding a way to get a crowbar into our heart and start to pry it open. That is your biggest challenge. So if I picture you before a council of elders on the other side, in fact, you had a past life regression and you saw yourself with this council of elders, you said, as I apparently did or supposedly did, give me the works. Make life so miserable, so many challenging experiences that my heart contracts and feels so tight that it's like a lump of coal, so that I can figure out a way to tap back into the love and light that is, crack that thing open, and shine like the diamond that I am. It's not going to be easy, Upcycled One. I give you all of these beautiful words. I feel kind of rah-rah here. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging. It's something I tell a lot of my coaching clients when they come to me. Before we've started, I'm like, look, it ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to feel like fun. You are going to have to dive into the muck and the mire, but truly, out of the muck and the mire comes the lotus. But I highly recommend make that shift and say, I am going to choose to find a way to open my heart. I am going to choose to make something positive out of it. And the fact that you're listening here, Upcycled One, means that you are and have made that choice. Your heart, your soul is guiding you back to your centered place, back to that calmness at the center or the eye of the storm. And I love your name, Upcycled One. I know it's a double entendre or more, but truly, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and upcycled is better than new. So embrace the scratches, the blemishes, the breaks, the missing pieces, whatever it is, embrace it all. And truly, you can shine bright, Upcycled One. Send all my love your way. So, any last things that we get to cover before we dive into a meditation?
Well, I just mentioned to Upcycled One that emotion code has really helped me move past some major heart walls and emotional blocks from the last few months, because we lost a dear friend in January, and we had
Carla, who so many people have spoken with here on the chat.
And the two miscarriages.
Yeah.
which sandwiched Carla's passing. So, yeah, check out the interview with Dr. Bradley Nelson because he explains how to do it in the interview.
Yeah. Cannot recommend Emotion Code enough. In fact, I had one hand, so to speak, on a magnet as I'm driving down the road in the car, doing these clearing statements with Jessica as we were driving down the road, really going hunting for all of the wiring and baggage that can leave us feeling like we're under a dark, dark cloak. And somebody here mentioned, I think it was Romy who mentioned Ho'oponopono. I cannot recommend this enough as a mantra for life. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. To say that over and over and over again. All right. I think we've got time for like a 2-minute meditation. Should we go for it? Just a 2-minute meditation?
Yeah.
All right. Last bits, housekeeping. Come support the show. Patreon.com/Inspire Nation. Sign up for our newsletter. We are sharing so many beautiful stories with you, our audience, and that's at inspirenationshow.com. And almost last chance to get in for coaching right now. Never say never, but that is inspirenationshow.com/coaching to sign up for a free opportunity to speak with me. I'd be honored and love to speak with you no matter what is going on in your life, without judgment, without expectation, and really do everything I can to help you to shine bright. All right. So what I'd like you to do is sit nice and good and comfortably in your chair. You could do it laying down as well, whatever is most comfortable. And I guess if you fell asleep during a meditation, well, then you're in bliss anyway. But a general rule, I'm going to have you sit up nice and good and comfortable, not too tall, not too much tension in the back. And I'm going to have you breathe in through the nose, down to the belly, and back up and out through the nose. Breathe in. Feel that belly expand and out. And in. And out. Now, as you continue to breathe in, I want you to imagine bringing in all this beautiful golden light and out. And you breathe in and take this golden light right into your heart. Breathe in this golden light and out. This is the golden light that we are all made of. Breathe in golden light and out. It's the light that's the fabric of our beingness. Breathe in that golden light and out. This golden light is what we are made of. In and out. It is who we truly are. And out. We are the sun. In and out. We are the stars. In and out. In fact, every cell of your being came from stars around the universe. And out. You are the light. In and out. You are stardust. Breathe in all the golden light you can. See it filling your heart. And out. Begin to send out light to others around you. Breathe in golden light. Feel your heart beginning to expand like a sun inside your body. And out. And in. See that sun inside of you beginning to burn so bright. And out. You breathe in so much golden light that sun is beginning to illuminate your entire body, every cell of your being. and out. And as you breathe in again, the light begins to pop out through your skin. You can see these sharp rays of sunlight expanding outward from your body. And out. And in as you take in this golden light, it's radiating out from you. It's radiating out of your body and filling your entire room. You are a mini sun. And out. And in again, your light is beginning to illuminate not just your home, but it's bursting forth. Your entire city block is illuminated straight from the sun of your heart. And out. And in again, take in all the light in the world, and it just perfuses every cell of your body and beams out to your entire city. You are a mini sun. And out. And in again, take in that light that is you and shine it out to your home, to your city, to the entire state or province in which you are. Your sun keeps growing brighter and brighter. And in all this golden light, take it right into your heart, and it just begins to shine out as you're exhaling, shining out on the entire planet, emanating from your amazing sun of a heart. And in, see this sun, this golden globe inside of you, illuminating the entire planet, the entire solar system. You are a magnificent sun. And in again, you are taking in so much light, and you are illuminating the entire galaxy with your love and light. And in again, all this golden light, and you have just this amazing globe. Your heart is so cracked open, and you are illuminating everyone and in everything in the entire universe and beyond. And in, growing even brighter still, and out, sending out love and light to everything in the known universes and beyond. Now you can continue doing this after I end for as long or short as you would like. But I want you to know that feeling you have right now is real. You are the sun. You are the love. You are the light. It is your birthright. You are such an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, loving soul, no matter what. You are the divine in one of her mysterious costumes and disguises. You are the sun. You are the light. You will leave this meditation shining brighter than you ever have before. For you are beginning to remember where you came from and who you truly are. You are a truly divine, infinite, beautiful, all love and light, spiritual being, having a human existence, going through all the trials and tribulations to help you to expand, to help you to grow, and to help you to shine your love and light with the world. I send all my love your way and wish you the most beautiful, shine like the amazing sun that you are, day ahead and week ahead. And look forward to seeing you here again next week. Both Jessica and I and the kitty cats send all our love your way. Shine bright. Woohoo! We love you guys. Namaste.